Hello, my name is Maria, and I'm going to be talking about James Tissot's Too Early. I want you to visualize one moment in your life where you felt nothing but embarrassment, that feeling where you've just wanted to curl up and die. I'm sure we can all think of one. Hold on to that while I introduce the artwork I'm here to talk about today. Today, I wanted to share my thoughts on James Tissot's 19th century oil on canvas, Too Early, which at its core is all about social embarrassment. Now, I won't make you share your embarrassing moment, but I am prepared to show you a very embarrassing time of my life, being 12. I was an awkward tomboy who just wanted to watch Doctor Who all day, with my idea of fun being spending hours upon hours in galleries and museums. So clearly nothing much has changed, which brings me to 2019. Visiting my brother in London for the first time, and during this time, I visited the Guildhall Gallery. And I took that photo on the right. Coming from Bridgewater to London, I felt very much like a cliché fish out of water, or a small kid in a big city, which I think subconsciously helped me to connect with this painting. It initially caught my interest due to its decadent style and Disney Princess S dresses. Even without knowing the context, I felt like there was a deeper meaning behind the frills and the lace, which I was able to reflect on when looking back at an artwork for the Articulation Prize. During this time, I had also recently moved up to secondary school. As the only person from my primary, I had to go through the excruciating pain of making an entire new friendship group and form connections with people who have known each other for years. 6 years later, as an 18-year-old, I still sometimes feel like that awkward tween. James Tissot's Too Early depicts the anxious minutes that feel like hours when you arrive too early to a party and are waiting for people to get there. We can see a widower father and his 3 young daughters having made the social faux pas of arriving too early to a ball, a classic mistake which many have made over time, including me. This Halloween, my friend Darcy and I showed up to a party very early and sat outside a girl's house for 20 minutes, donning bumblebee and ladybird costumes with big wings. This embarrassing feeling can resonate with everybody. Think back to your moment from the beginning. For me, it's comforting to know that even in the 19th century, people experience the same feelings of embarrassment and awkwardness that I do now in the 21st century. At a first glance, Tissot guides our attention to the widower father and his 3 daughters, who are positioned directly in the centre of the artwork. Our gaze is immediately stolen by them, forcing us to share their embarrassment. They have committed the social faux pas of arriving too early to a ball used to find eligible suitors for young women. None of the figures meet each other's eyes. Instead, they look away, awkward and embarrassed. Lights from the chandelier cast down directly onto the family, highlighting their discomfort rather than hiding it like they'd wish. Their clothing is extremely detailed, appearing almost gaudy, with layers of lace and frills, with the addition of black ribbons to demonstrate the mourning of their mother, the drapery showing Tissot's perfect technique of his near photographic technical precision. To a modern viewer, all of these dresses in the painting would look extremely similar, but a contemporary audience would immediately recognise that these gowns are out of fashion due to the excess of frills which overpower the simpler current styles which would have been worn by the aristocrats, something which Tissot would have known as his father was a milliner. Their group would have stuck out like a sore thumb, creating another social distinction and feeling of isolation. In the background, 2 young servant girls peek through the doors, laughing at the discomfort of the group. Their presence is important as it shows that even the working class understand the mistake the family has made. Their embarrassment isn't private, it's public. To the side, the band sits hidden away in the corner, waiting for their cue to start. The lady of the house urges them to play, attempting to soften the tension, yet they remain in the dark, showing the ball hasn't officially begun. Again, Tissot shows off his artistry and detail, with light from the chandelier and piano reflecting from a band member's glasses, creating depth, proving how carefully observed the scene is. In contrast to the family, a young aristocratic couple in the background, behaving with ease and confidence, almost as if they were wrapped up in their own Bridgerton romance. I'm sure Lady Westdown would have loved writing about them. The man leans loosely, touching toes in a flirtatious manner. This offers a glimpse of what the evening is going to become, a look into the Victorian aristocratic society that Tissot was dropped into after emigrating. In the 1870s, art tended to focus on light moments of leisure. On a surface level, Too Early may appear to align with this norm, but looking deeper, where a typical realist painting at this time may choose to draw focus to a subject like the couple in this painting, Tissot highlights the family sympathetically, bringing to the foreground something typically sidelined or reduced to comic relief. Finally, between this couple, we notice a woman ascending the stairs, about to enter the room. She becomes the unknowing hero of the painting, arriving just in time to save the father and his daughters from being the only guests, relieving them from their embarrassment. This painting and many of Tissot's works, like Ball on the Shipboard and Hush, have earned him the title of being a social chocolate box artist. People used to dismiss his work as superficial, as he often depicted Victorian high society, describing his work as purely decorative. This assumption led to Tissot's genius being undermined for a long time. His paintings serve as a social commentary, showing the unspoken side of the aristocratic lifestyle, offering a methodical view of society through his lens as an outsider. James Tissot was a refugee from France. He had to flee Paris with virtually nothing to London after the Paris Commune, a radical socialist government in the 1870s. He made his fortune after 3 years, being able to mix with the upper classes. However, it is evident from this painting, and all his others in fact, that Tissot felt like an outsider. His paintings feel like a still from a film. They are incredibly candid, as if he were there with the subjects while also observing. We see the Victorian aristocrats through his lens as a refugee. This resonates with me, but also anyone who has ever been somewhere that is unfamiliar. All of our feelings are heightened, especially those of embarrassment and awkwardness. This experience is highly personal, but totally universal. Tissot wanted to highlight the feeling of otherness which one can feel in a social situation, reminding me of what I feel like now. Joining college and entering adulthood, I have met people from all different walks of life, from different hometowns and experiences, as well as having my own. Even in a space like this gallery, being surrounded by lots of priceless art makes me question my place. I'm sure Tissot felt the same during his time in London. My experience with this painting mirrors the levels of meaning within the painting itself. At first, I appreciated the aesthetics, but upon further analysis and understanding of the painting's context, I was able to appreciate the layers of meaning within it. The context in which I viewed the painting also affected my perception, with my first experience being in a gallery. Positioned alongside other artwork, Too Early was placed within a similar setting to which it depicts. Even at 12, something about it resonated with me, making me feel connected and able to relate to the family, despite our differences in class, time period, and attire. When rediscovering the painting, I had the same connection, but also a realization that I wasn't the only one with this feeling. The feeling of isolation is one of humanity, felt by everyone, every time, and every outfit, whether that be a 19th century ball gown or a bumblebee Halloween costume. Thank you.